اجتماعی داره میاد جلو، میگیم اینه جواب علیه داعش، میگیم اینه جواب فاشیسم اسلامی و میگیم که اینو باید حمایتش کرد. من خیلی خوشحالم وقتی صحبت اکرم نظیری شنیدم، گفت ده‌ها نامه گرفتم گفتن نرو این کنفرانس، اومدم برای اینکه امرم چیزی دیگه و میخوام بگم اکرم نظیر امر ما چیز دیگه است. کمونیسم پراتیک یعنی این، یعنی امرمون چیز دیگه است، یعنی اوضاع خطیر امروز رو میبینیم، منطقه رو میبینیم، جهان رو میبینیم و میدونیم ما جواب میدیم و باید برای اون کاری کنیم و کاری که کردیم این کنفرانس یک قدم کوچیکشه، اولین قدم و من تاکید دارم رو همبستگی کارگری که با این افق دنیا رو داره نگاه میکنه تو خاورمیانه به عنوان یک قدم از انترناسیونال کارگری. به نظر من این جواب میده، این یک قدمه. میخواستم این بگم که بعد خواستم بیاد تفسیر بزنم. خیلی ممنون.
So much, Shala. Yeah, I'll give it a short translation. Shala's said that she's been speaking here at the conference as a member of the Worker Solidarity Campaign, but because the issue of communism, worker communism, and political parties were raised, she also wants to make a point from the point of view of worker communism, in the sense that that is the only solution to the problems of today. You know, you have to approach it from that perspective. And he said that he was very happy that Akram, who mentioned that there were tens of people who said don't go to the conference, but he still came because and it is this sort of gathering, you know, which can talk about these issues. And she also mentioned, you know, the kind of communism that is required, the communism of today, the practical communism, to make a change in people's lives. And that is the sort of contribution we can make to the situation that we find ourselves in the Middle East and North Africa. And so I'd like now to call Kazem to come forward, please. Kazem wants to make a point, as he mentioned, about the proposal for an international worker solidarity network. Yeah, would you like to come? Or
I don't know, because you want to job?
Yeah, you can start. Yeah.
I want, yeah.
You want to say it?
Sorry for everyone.
I'm here. Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, Arabic. Yeah, I wanted with permission of Akram and Hatem and Hoda and all of you, declare the formation of this Workers' Solidarity Network of the Middle East and North Africa. Because we talked before about that, and it was a little bit discussion about this network, and Akram had a concern about the third point, and we decided to take off that point and come to agreement with our minimum agreements, because we want to start something. We don't want to go away without any decision, without any practical decision. And this is a practical decision for this conference. We have come here to have a continuous relationship and solidarity and support from workers of the region together. So this network is going to do that. It's going to do these things, to support the struggle of workers in different countries. I just talk about that, but it is written here, defending the jailed workers, imprisoned workers in different countries, defend the right to organization, right to strike, and freedom of speech. All of them, all of we are doing that. And this network emphasizes that the workers of the world have a common destiny, and it supports every worker struggle at any place in the world. And we decide, if you agree, that every year we have our annual conference, and I hope that we can have many workers, leaders, communist activists, workers activists to join this network. And next year we have a big conference, worker conference from different countries, from many countries of the region, and we have had big steps towards unity and integration and support of the workers. If you agree, just give me an applaud. Thank you very much. Yeah, it was just this. Thank you.
Okay, as the final, I know everybody is very tired now, so as the final thing, unfortunately, Pascal Dayton from France could not be present at the conference, and we could not bring him on Skype. Actually, he had tried, unfortunately, and he sent us a message that he had tried around 4 o'clock. But anyway, I'll read that out to you now. It says, from France, I send you all my greetings and all my wishes for a successful conference. If all over the world there's a fight between the working class and the capitalists, in the Middle East and North Africa, this fight is particularly tense. The workers show how strong they are in Tunisia and Egypt, when they won against the dictatorships of Ben Ali and Mubarak. But they show also a weakness, because until now, if they are still fighting for bread and freedom, they are still far from their goals. The fall of Mubarak and Ben Ali was just the first step. In the whole Middle East and North Africa, the working class has to challenge dictatorships like in Iran, Saudi Arabia, Egypt or Syria. They are also to face with the most bloody reactionaries, like the Daesh terrorists in Iraq and Syria. And in many countries, the bourgeois and the governments launched a war against the workers, like in Algeria, where the government wants to impose a new labor code banning the right to strike and the freedom of organization. In all of the Middle East and North Africa, like everywhere, the class struggle is not only a struggle between workers and bosses, but also a struggle for humanity. In many countries, for instance, the religious reactionaries are targeting women. In many countries also, the fight between different capitalist powers are creating wars. As Marx said, workers of the world unite. The workers' fight in Middle East and North Africa is a part of the struggle of every worker in the world. And this, not just because we, the workers have a common interest, a common fight for freedom and bread, but this is also because a big part of the working class in Europe has friends or relatives in North Africa and Middle East. And also because we have been facing the same enemies. Peugeot, for instance, closed factories in France, but uses the cheap labor of workers in Morocco. It was also the French state that supported Ben Ali and that gave weapons to Gaddafi. In Europe, like everywhere in the world, nationalism, chauvinism, and racism are not an option for the working class. Every successful fight for the workers in Algeria, Iran, Turkey, or Iraq, or everywhere in the world, make also the workers in Europe stronger. Also, again, I wish you a successful conference. United, we will win. Workers of the world, unite. Pascal Beta. And just before we close, I also mentioned that because we didn't have time, we also had a message of solidarity with the people of Iraq, which is, one of the cases now where we are watching, with horror what's taking place, and issues that are so important for the fate of the Middle East and the world, actually. And unfortunately, we don't have time to go into that. So I think we have come to the end of our conference, and I'll just have only time to say thanks to all the participants at the conference, to our speakers who have come from every corner of the world to take part at this conference. This was the first conference of its kind, and in the critical situation that the Middle East and North Africa is going through, it is the fitting response to that situation. And this coming together, exchanging views, discussing on the most crucial issues that matter to everyone, not just us, not just for the workers there, but everywhere. I think this conference will be seen by looking back as one of the first steps that the people took, the working people and the activists, political activists, socialists, communists took, and the revolutionaries, in order to get closer together, to build that force that has to be built, to make give a powerful response to what the reactionaries and the reactionary governments and states, the bourgeoisie, are doing, the havoc that they are wreaking in the Middle East. So it is this kind of response which will be seen as one of the first steps towards that. I'd like to thank specifically also, I'd like to thank everybody who took part. I'd like to thank the organizers of this conference, our comrades and colleagues in Stockholm who have worked very hard, and I would like to come forward, Mushtar, and many others, Bolshan, Sima, Veronica, Kian, Siamak, Hassan? No, not Hassan. Shukufa, of course, Shukufa. And Shukufa, she's been interpreting, translating from first thing in the morning in a very professional way. Because I could even hear, as I was speaking in English, for example, she was immediately translating into Swedish, and despite the pace of it. And yes, sure, I'll pass you on. And to others as well, for all her work, and to everybody else that I missed out. And a lot of people who are not here and could not be seen.
Thanks a great deal to you for
Okay, so
about a general name in order to be free organizing things in Egypt. So I propose that it is the International Network of Workers' Solidarity. This is a suggestion. The other one, we don't have time to send statements of solidarity to Iraq or to Egypt because we have a lot of strikes. But for example, I can take your solidarity with me in a short statement on my Facebook page through emails to the workers who are striking now and also to Iraq.
What is the international network?
The International Network of Workers' Solidarity.
That means without Middle East and North Africa.
Maybe
Because we were, yeah, sure. Because we were discussing, and Hola had an excellent suggestion as well, because she was saying, and I think that is absolutely right, the name of the network and should be something general, absolutely, across the, and also she was also suggesting that, for example, we could have a conference in Egypt, for example, to make it easier for activists to take part in that sort of conference. Could be in Egypt or anywhere, and they have a lot of resources they could utilize in order for that. And you want to say something? Also, Azra wanted to say something.
Yes. Thank you for everybody. منم خواستم بگم که اگر ممکنه و فرصت هست این قطعنامه‌ای که اینجا تصویب شد هم به زبان فارسی و هم به زبان عربی اینجا خونده بشه اگر امکانش هست.
اگر موجود
باید یکم روش کار کنیم بخاطر اینکه we should work on that a little bit. Others suggested we publish this resolution about this international network, but we should work on that and be a little bit more professional, and we will publish it later in different languages.
Yeah. Okay. And
من میخواستم اولا بگم هوشیار یکی از سازمان دهندگان کل این پروژه است. ما به تدارک این اومدیم از نظر برنامه کار، نقشه‌ای که داریم و از این نظر میخواستم قدردانی کنم از طرف کمیته همبستگی معماری کارگر به عنوان یه عضو این کمیته کار کردیم. و حتما ندید پیشنهادهای خیلی خوبی داشت تو تمام مدت در تماس که با هم دیگه داشتیم و معرفی کسایی که با توی این کنفرانس بودن، اطلاعات لازم و به این ترتیب قدردانی میکنم از اکرام ندید. ما قبلا شروع کردیم کار این همبستگی و خیلی از چیزایی که اینجا میبینید خدا ترجمه به عربی کرد برای من.
English.
ترجمه به عربی کرد اونا رو و این خیلی مهمه و ما تصمیم گرفتیم ماهانه جلسات این نتورک رو داشته باشیم، یعنی تشکیلش دادیم که هیچ برنامه ماهانه جلسات ماهانه رو تصمیم گرفتیم و تصمیم گرفتیم که کانتکت ما تو خاورمیانه حاتم کانتکت ما تو خاورمیانه است که تماس‌ها رو برقرار میکنه و تو اون گروپی که تشکیل میدیم تو مدیای اجتماعی این نتورک رو جلو ببریم و به این ترتیب ما قدم‌های خوبی برداشتیم. خیلی ممنونم.
How I can remember about everything. Shall I thank Hushar for being as one of the organizers of this conference, as you know, a key organizers of this conference, and also thank Akram Nadir for his consultation suggestions, you know, throughout this process about invitations, about the information about the situation and the activists in that region. And also, Shala thanks Huda for the sort of the work of this network, for having started it in a sense, that with every monthly meetings and a lot of discussions and close cooperation that took place over this time, and the translations into Arabic of a lot of the literature. And also thanked Hate for the advice on the contacts that could be approached for this conference. So, as you can see, this is a team effort, a teamwork which has already started. So in a sense, that network has already formed in an embryonic form already there, and we have created this conference, and so that's great. So Charles is grateful for everyone for this teamwork. Okay. Thank you. Okay, yeah, we're going to take a picture of the speakers. Everyone, if this speakers all could come here, please. And yeah, Dr. Khan, Koda, please come. Yeah. Yeah. What we need is a photographer. Thanks again to Veronica, who's been working tirelessly throughout.
بله بفرمایید، هر کس میخواد عکس بگیره بفرمایید عکس دست جمعی برای
Everybody come, everybody.
نه همه معلوم این ور شاه جان این ور لطفاً بیستید دیگه از این ور بیاد این ور شاه جان بیا این ور عزیزم اون ور خیلی شلوغ شده بیا این ور کیا ناصر این ور بیاد رحمان رحیم اصلا هیچ احتیاجی نیست اون پشت فشرده باشین کاملا میشه دوربین باز کرد اینجا 2 نفر میتونن